Despite a surge in Covid-19 cases in the Auckland community, it appears not everyone is on board with the latest lockdown measures, which came into force at lunchtime yesterday. Residents could also be seen taking to public places, some of which carried no obvious signs of being closed down or cordoned off. Our cameraman Nick Monro and Nick Truebridge hit the super streets today and discovered a chorus of skepticism as to whether residents are sticking to the rules.
The rest of New Zealand probably thinks Aucklanders are pulling out all the stops to avoid returning to another long-term Covid-19 lockdown. But residents spoken to by Checkpoint are not convinced Level 3 restrictions are being taken seriously in the super city.
I would say, from what I've seen, not really. There's a small sliver that are wearing masks, but not as many as I'd expected. Beyond what I've seen, I know a lot of people that have tried to escape the city, and I think that's pretty unimpressive given we're trying to keep it in the cities.
It's just after midday on Ponsonby Road. The roads are noticeably quieter than they were during yesterday's lunchtime rush. There's a smattering of people out and about getting fresh air as they take a break from their home offices. All surefire signs that Aucklanders are sticking to Level 3 restrictions. Though looks can be deceiving.
I think they're probably a bit more relaxed this time around, maybe not taking it quite so seriously by the looks of things.
It's 3 months to the day, May 13, since we were last in Level 3. This woman, who's taking her dog out for a walk and is waiting for a much-needed flat white, is sceptical as to whether her fellow Aucklanders are taking Level 3 restrictions seriously.
Probably 50-50. There's a couple businesses that kind of look like their doors are open and you can just walk in, which I didn't think you could do. And there's some people that don't seem to want to go to the other side of the footpath, and that's something we saw the last time as well. Some people, give you a nice wide berth and some people don't, and the dog kind of pulls me whichever way. So, I think the government could have been a bit clearer about what they were trying to accomplish, because I think that helps people make better choices.
She's not convinced people even remember what Level 3 means.
Level 4 was so easy because the rules were very strict. And then when we came out of Level 4, I think a lot of people didn't really change their life very much at that point into Level 3. Kind of jumping right into Level 3 was a bit tricky, I think, for a lot of people. There were tons of cars on the road yesterday. I don't know where everyone was going.
As for the prospect of an extended super city lockdown,
I think they need to relook at whether a lockdown is actually required, whether maybe reassess some of the rules around it. For example, open up more stores, like Bunnings is a good example for something like that.
Do as we're told. Listen to the people who are telling us what to do that, and the sooner we do that and get it done, it's over.
Meanwhile, despite Auckland Council supposedly closing public facilities during Level 3 restrictions, Checkpoint witnessed dozens of families taking to public playgrounds. Unlike Levels 3 and 4 last time around, there did not appear to be much in the form of tape and signage signalling closures. There were no obvious signs of barriers as locals took to the Flying Fox and playground at Sandringham's Gribblehurst Park. The only sign of closure at Mount Eden's Potters Park was smaller than an A4 piece of paper, which was ignored as excited kids took to swings and slides. An Auckland Council spokeswoman says playgrounds are closed and simply that they hope Aucklanders are respecting that. Back on Ponsonby Road, lax attitudes aren't the only issues reported by Aucklanders spoken to by Checkpoint.
And in terms of face masks, I'd be wearing one if I had access to one, but I cannot find one at the moment.
Really? So for the life of you?
Well, I've ordered them online, but they haven't come, and I've gone to the supermarket and pharmacy and there haven't been any available, so I've just got to wait. But all the online stores said they'd take at least a week. So, yeah.
Earlier today, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern also addressed price gouging concerns in relation to New Zealand's face mask supplies.
My message is exactly the same as it was the first time New Zealand experienced restrictions on movements and the need for really critical items. fairness. We're asking people not to try and capitalise on the situation New Zealand is in. My message also to consumers is that you don't have to have a surgical face mask. A face covering that you perhaps fashion yourself is adequate. We are actually looking through the advice of health to distribute some information of the kind of face coverings, if you're using your own, are going to do the job, just so that people don't have to rely on purchasing something that might be financially out of their reach.
So an unsettled start to day one of Auckland's return to lockdown, which, if today's surge to 17 community cases is a sign of things to come, could well last for some time yet. For Checkpoint, Nick Truebridge.
And if you were listening to that piece from the two Nicks from Checkpoint, we'll put it up online. It'll be on our Facebook page so that you can check out the video. Now, Auckland Council has confirmed at alert level 3, all playgrounds, basketball courts and skate parks are closed, meaning they must not be used. But in a statement, it says there are no plans to remove play or sports equipment from our parks, as we are limited to essential work only. Given the current 72-hour period for level 3, this is also why there is no signage at Council's 940 playgrounds, they say. But the Council does go on to say if alert level restrictions are extended beyond Friday, it will look at reinstalling these.